Guys, I'm so excited. But let me start by welcoming you all today. You are all welcome and I hope you're all doing well. I am Janazi and all I do is twist the little things my mom showed me in her beautiful, beautiful traditional kitchen. Right, so today we are going to be cooking Ekwang, and Ekwang is a dish I haven't had in like 3 years. Yes, 3 years or more. Yeah, ask me why. So first, when you get to the market, make sure you buy some fresh cocoyams and always make sure you buy the red cocoyams. How do you know your cocoyams are red? Once you scrape it like that, you can see the pink color on the skin. Then you know you're having red cocoyams. If it is white, then it is white cocoyams. But now you can also mix the red and white cocoyams. Why do we choose the red cocoyams? Because red cocoyams contain less water compared to the white ones. But you can also mix both red and white cocoyams, right? You're going to have a beautiful texture at the end of the day. So we're going to go ahead and peel our cocoyams after buying them. Just peel your cocoyams and drop them in some water. Then you go ahead and wash them thoroughly. Hmm. After washing your cocoyams, then the next thing to do is to grate your cocoyams. Now, one of the reasons I've not had a kwang in a long time is this process of washing and grating. Now, cocoyam has this itchy sensation it gives at the end of the day. So if you're very sensitive like I am, you're going to have this to deal with. This is one of the reasons I've not had equang in a while. So next we're going to be needing our grater. Now I'm using this if you do not have, because I do not have our traditional grater, but I'm using the modern one. Why am I using palm oil right now? I'm going to be applying palm oil on my hands to help soothe the itchiness because I do not want to keep scratching my hands all day long. So I'm applying palm oil. This palm oil is kind of soothing, it helps with um, that itchy sensation. So you're going to go ahead and create your cocoyam. Now, when you're doing this, you need to do this with some passion and love because you're not careful, you're going to grate your fingers. Now, when you get to this and you have the small piece that is left, I won't advise you to use your fingers and scrape. Just use your fork and do that, or use a larger cocoyam and crush the small piece that is left because you do not want to, irritate your fingers or wound your fingers. All right, guys. So now you can see why I say this meal requires a lot of passion, a lot of love, and a lot of patience when cooking it. The last time I had it was 3 years ago, more than 3 years ago, when my little cute nephew was born. I traveled home and we had to make this dish, and we all enjoyed as a family. Now, once you're done grating, you can just use your palm, and pull out the rest on the grater. Just use your palm and do that repeatedly, and it's going to take out everything that is left on your grater. All right, and then just go ahead and rinse it off or wash it off immediately so it doesn't dry up, because once it dries up you're going to struggle to wash it. And also make sure you wash your hands immediately and then apply some oil to it. All right, okay, so we are done. We're just going to transfer our grated cocoyams into a different bowl, a smaller bowl. All right, okay, so now take note. Traditionally or originally, ekwang is wrapped in cocoyam leaves. So it's grated cocoyams wrapped in cocoyam leaves. But now I do not have cocoyam leaves, but I need to eat ekwang. I'm craving for ekwang. But I have sweet bitter leaf at the back of the house, and I have green at the back of the house. So my niece just harvested few of these and we used them in wrapping up, right? So, am I clear or should I add some volume? Do you need me to use a mic? So, yeah, I'm just picking my leaves, just picking out the beautiful leaves, and we're going to go ahead and wash them and use them instead of using cocoyam leaves. All right. So all our ingredients are set. Let's look at what we have. We have here some sliced onions. Onions are optional. Then I have some dried fish, some dried meat, yeah, and some crayfish here as well. Then I've got my grated cocoyams. I also have some smoked fish here as well. That is smoked tilapia. Then I have some palm oil, very important ingredient, palm oil. And now we have mixed sweet bitter leaf and green. Now, this is one of the reasons I've not had Ekwang in a long time because I do not have cocoyam leaves. I do not have cocoyam leaves, guys. All right. Next, we're going to be adding our next ingredient is scotch bonnet pepper. We're going to be adding scotch bonnet pepper to our meal, then some salt for seasoning, and our country onions or fulum. I have the powdered one and the the seeds themselves. I'm just showing you guys for those who do not know what country onions are, but I'm going to be using the powdered one. All right. Okay. So this is what we have the fulum. Now everything is set, so let's get started. Let's start with our preparations. We're going to start by adding some salt into our grated cocoyams. Right, just add some little amount of salt, not too much. You need to be very careful with the way you add your salt. Just allow it to sit, then go ahead and crush your pepper. Now I do not have a grinding stone, so I'm making do with my chopping board. I'm just going to use that and crush my pepper and then transfer it into a small bowl. Next, in a clean pot, just apply some palm oil, just like you were applying in your cake dish or something. Apply it, and then we're gonna go ahead and start wrapping cocoyams leaves. Now, if we were using cocoyam leaves, we would be wrapping them in cocoyam. At that point, you're going to slice the cocoyam leaves into smaller sizes like the leaves we have here, or even smaller, and then wrap them just like I'm doing. Place the cocoyams on the opposite side of the leaf. How would I say it? The outside of the leaf, yes, the outer side of the leaf, and then wrap it and place in your pot. Now you need to be very careful and loving the way you place it in your pot. You need to do that. You need to make this crisscross in your pot, enabling it to have, you need to have some space in your pot because water needs to penetrate into your pot right up to the bottom. Now, once you've done that, you at one stage when your pot is almost halfway gone, then you're gonna add some obstacles. So you can see me putting in my meat, fish, and crayfish, right? Then I'm going to add in some pepper and some onions. And I'm still emphasizing on the fact that fresh onions are optional. They are optional. Then once you do that, you continue with the same process. Just wrap your cocoyams in your leaves and then place them beautifully in your pot, making sure they are not too close to each other, but they are not too far from each other. Then go in and put the last batch of your obstacles, your fish, your meat, and your crayfish, not forgetting your pepper and your onions. Now, once you do that, then add in some salt, boil some water, and add into your pot. Now, do not use cold water when you're cooking your eggplant. Add boiling water and then put to boil. At this stage, our pot is boiling beautifully. We're going to go ahead and add in our country onions or our fulum. Then we're going to add a cup of love. Now, do you understand? You have to always cook with love. Always add love to your cooking, darlings. Do you also see why I say this meal requires a lot of patience and a lot of love? It also actually requires a lot of time. If you do not have time, you can't cook acorn. Now we've added our oil. This is at this stage we're going to add oil. Once your pot has cooked for about 30 to 45 minutes, then you can add your oil, all right? Now your acorn really needs to cook thoroughly so you don't have that itchy sensation on your throat as well, especially if you're very sensitive. Some people are not sensitive, but I am one of those very sensitive people, so I have to be very careful. All right, so we're just going to taste and adjust our seasoning. I'm using just salt, all right? So our food is ready and we are doing the only thing that has been keeping us up to this stage, and that is tasting time. Oh my God, the excitement. It was so delicious, guys. It was so delicious. So even without cocoyam leaves, we still made our ekwang. and it was so delicious. We've come to the end of our video. I love you all. Thank you so much for watching. Please remember to be kind to people. Remember to do a random act of kindness. And I'll definitely see you in the next one. Thank you so much. Bye.